Welcome back to the village of Roanoke. It's Ace here in ASKA. And I'm going to set up the stream here on the other side. And then we'll dive right in. It's day 162. And we are about to build our first outpost. I was thinking about down south along the coast or off to the west. We've got a road that heads all the way out here. So I'm going to take a look at hardwood sticks, see how our hardwood forest is out here. I think it's basically depleted, and how we are down south, which I think is also pretty much depleted. So I'm not sure which way we're going to go. I like the coastal just because I like the ocean, but let's check it out. So anyways, so finish this fence rebuild and then see if we can get a green fence line all the way around. If you notice the new fence mechanic, you can build a perimeter fence. I did one there just as a little sample. So now we're in the midst of rebuilding the exterior perimeter here to see if we can get that thing to all show green. So anyways, what do we need? Sticks, probably sticks and logs, sticks and logs, sticks and logs. Everywhere, sticks and logs. Day 163, summer is almost here. Summertime and the living's easy. Get down here and get some water real quick. Okay, is this my cart? I believe so. Excellent. Let's just grab a pile of logs and take them down to the other side of town. Yeah, that is the problem with the new key that they give us. are you doing, dude? Are you just running around chopping up every log? What are you out here retrieving? Resin. Definitely need to smooth that area back there and get a road put in. Sort of been a forgotten section of the village, and now I can see it getting used a little more. And we'll put a couple little grinds out here. This will be a little meditation area. Wait, you need sticks. Why does Sharon I have 2 of 5? That's weird. Oh, it has... Yeah, okay. I'm misreading that. Can I get that around that corner? No, one guy. Oh, it's the warehouse guy. All right. All right. Softwood has somebody working it. Hardwood has two somebodies working. Warehouse for future use. I know that we've got one here at the fiber. Leather scrap has. I think we don't have one on the... Oh, we do have one on the stone. All right. Firewood, definitely. Thatch and stick, yes. All right. Well, each of the deep storages has at least one person working there. Good. And they're looking pretty well stocked. Intake is full up, which is to be expected considering that most of the deep stores are getting pretty full. I think we'll do these folks a favor and take this linen thread over to the workshop. Oh, you know what? That's the other project we need to do, is we need to move that workshop over so it stops being in this road. That whole thing needs to move out towards the ocean about 10 feet. Thank you. I think we can stop carrying around quite so much rope now. Well, infrastructure. I like big warehouse complexes. There's no doubt about it. Everything comes in. There's an intake warehouse down here at the end on the right. And that's where markets bring from transfer warehouses out there. The market people bring it into the intake warehouse here. And then there are market jobs to go ahead and move from the intake to the various deep storages for each material. And then there's another market person to take from each deep storage and bring it over here to the Quickie Mart. So the Quickie Mart, in theory, is stocked up all the time with sticks and bark and thatch and coal and whatnot. There's also a linen warehouse right next door that gets that sort of stuff, scraps and whatnot. So in theory, these two warehouses are always full and everything feeds into them. In practice, it works about 85–90% of the time. Why are wood shafts lying around? Why would carpentry bits be? Seriously? There's going to be some town square floggings for that one. Well, I was grateful to see they fixed the bug that if you upgrade a warehouse, it wipes out the stuff in the warehouse. Fortunately, I did the warehouse. The only warehouse upgrade I've done was yesterday to the Quickie Mart here. And it didn't wipe out the goods in there, but it did wipe out the priorities on each of the bins. But boy, it would have sucked to upgrade the Home Depot over here and lose all that carpentry material. So I'm glad that I didn't choose that one for the upgrade. All right, so we are still working on the fence. That's getting pretty close to, look at that, just a few more pieces and we'll see if the perimeter fence job, if the perimeter fence mechanic can work on something this big. So I created a perimeter fence here, just a little sample 4-panel, and indeed it shows up green, so that told me that I was looking to try and make this one green as well. And that meant a complete rebuild of the entire perimeter fence for the most part. There's only a few pieces left, and hopefully they get these last ones done and this whole thing turns green. Since it doesn't really give you any indicator along the way that you've created successful joins, it's one of those things where I think we just cross our fingers and, you know, wait for the light to turn green. And if we don't, you go, you know what, we don't need the perimeter fence for safety anyways, so screw it. Because that's just not going to be worth going and trying to fix. Oh, interesting. The fences have to be, from what I can tell, a complete perimeter. And um, so something that I have been playing wrong for quite some time is when you're placing down a fence that the green arrow is in. I had presumed that the green arrow was out. And so plenty of my fences were placed with the green arrow facing out. I don't know if that matters, but I did have a complete perimeter fence, and it wasn't showing up green. Also, I wasn't using snap every single time when I put down fence pieces. I was just going for a visual because it didn't really used to matter that you had a perimeter fence. They just didn't care. So now when you put down that fence, there's that little green cylinder, and if you right-click, you snap to that one, and there you go. And so I was not using snap before. Now this new fence is built entirely using snap every piece. So hopefully... yeah, I've never built spikes. Had I ever built spikes, I would have immediately seen that the direction was that I had it wrong. So now this entire fence is snapped and facing correctly. So hopefully, hey, look at that. There it is. We have a successful perimeter fence, which means if I come here and look at building defense, I should see defense +1. Oh my lord, we get +1 for it. Oh god, that was so not worth it. That was so not worth it. 1 defense point. Oh. The only thing you could ever attack this building would be bombers. And coming over the English Channel. And yeah, no, 1 point. Alright. Well, that wasn't worth it. Don't go down that path unless it's easy. Oh man. That was a letdown. All right, so I need to look at the area to the south for this new outpost and see if I want to go south or west. So let's jump on that here. Oh, we got a raid. Oh, villager happiness. We're through the roof. Our lowest is 86, and then number 2 is a 95, 96, where we have like 10 of them under 100, 15, 20 under 100, 21. But yeah, 98s, 99s. The way that the village is laid out, I was really careful to have areas. So if you look at my description for the stream, it says with a focus on urban planning. So all of your housing is down here along with stuff that improves housing happiness. Your industrial is down in this area. You've got a buffer zone here between with warehouses. So all of your housing up here, using decorations, using altars, not having warehouses or not having workshops and things that ding the happiness. So if we go and I took a look at your average housing unit, you know, this longhouse has 20 people in it, and it's got 115 housing points. So we've got, this is one of the ones very closest to the industrial zone, so the stonecutter's house dings it, and the woodcutter dings it. But other than that, you can see all the pluses on there. Your rune stones are huge, the Quickie Mart, the cooking houses, the Eye of Odin, everything laid out so that all of your housing up at the north is going to take all those positives, and all of your warehouses and your negatives are all down here at the south. And it also made it easy to put food in the center so that we had good crossover as people would go to work. They'd be crossing past the kitchens. We've got 4 kitchens up and running, which are feeding 3 food warehouses, little mini markets. I'm curious to see if after this new patch, and it looks like they might be actually finally using this road. We've got this beautiful road that runs north-south, and you know they would come down to about here and then they would turn in, run along here, and then run back out. It was the weirdest thing. It looks like they're now running straight down. I don't know, I'm going to have to pay more attention and see. But if they are, oh god, you guys just nuked this whole forest just for resin. We've got to improve that system. There's got to be a better way to do that. I was thinking about a second village, like full-on village down here, because this is just a beautiful spot on the coast. It's this huge flat area. It'd be really nice to build in here, and you could almost really, because of the lack of non-removable rocks, you could almost build in here with the natural grass and keep that so you wouldn't actually have to end up with that big mud terraform thing. So anyways, I was thinking about putting a outpost down here, but I think that our hardwood nearby is pretty much zero, and if anything, that's the last thing I'm interested in. The foresters are doing a pretty good job of planting all this new hardwood up in here close enough to the original village, but yeah, let's go take a look at this one, this spot over here. I would really like the ability to plant natural grasses, turn some of the village back into meadowland. And this is a beautiful spot. I'm still trying to find an island, and since I want to do the lake content, I'm going to have to make a new village, obviously. So I'm hopeful that on that island there's a nice spot with level ground and an oak tree or two. I'd really like to build a village under an oak tree. Oak tree next to a lake, close enough to the ocean for fishing to work. I mean, really, is it too much to ask? And a wolf den close by, and plenty of game. No horns on either of them. The rats that come to the village, the smolker invasions, don't have horns on them. So if you want the new smolker horn, I found that you have to get smolkers out at spawn points. Pest control. I think we've already got this wolf den map. Yeah, we do. Alright, well, let's grab the meat and keep on running. Need to figure out this new outpost location and build that. Check out how that mechanic works. At this point, we're pretty much self-sufficient with the village, with iron and wood being renewable now. But, you know, it's a thing that we can build, so I gotta check it out. Wish the bear were closer. Bear's pretty much on the other side of the island. For this new heavy pelt, it would be nice if he was farmable without running across the island every time. So a lake with the ocean and some oak trees and some wolves and a bear. That's all. Maybe a Waffle House nearby, you know. Didn't really feel like I'm asking for too much. Here's the second mine, which we didn't even really have to open up. I just did it because why not? And I think that there's plenty of softwood in stock. Plenty of crawler resources in stock, of course. Wow, so many crawler sacks. I thought that explosives were going to be something that were, you know, a little bit rare. We've got enough explosives to blow up a spire. We've got no hardwood here to speak of. Just a couple, not really worth it. We've got a Draugr field right there. I think this hardwood forest is gone. You know, come off here, the off-ramp, run that up, and put an outpost here-ish. Maybe, I don't know. Down south, that big coastal area. Because we don't need a warehouse, we don't need an outpost anywhere, so I guess just putting it somewhere where it's convenient and pleasant to try out the mechanic. This is not going to end the way you guys think it is. Yeah, see? You know, come here. Come here, where are you? There you are. Say goodnight. Oh, I was going to say earlier, since the update, we had a wolf invasion. We had a wolf event. And instead of it being like 4 wolves, which it usually is, or 3 or 5, which is pretty much a milk run, it was about 7 to 8 wolves, and it was 2 Fenrir that came with them. So they were using Call of the Wild. They were spawning ads. That thing turned into a real fight. Be ready for that. Fortunately, they have not yet fixed the endless stamina run, so we'll take advantage of that. Bring back a log. And now that the fence is complete, let's go ahead and upgrade all the front fence to the last tier. We've got plenty of carpentry stuff in stock, so I think that'll be an easy time. We've got a good staff of builders on hand right now. And oh, thank goodness that they finally gave us the ability to open gates while hauling the cart. That took way too long. Never incorporated a watchtower into the fence line. I'm gonna have to do that on the next build. I saw that it has snap points. Start with just these few. So much anti-grav stuff. What is up with that? Wow, softwood has actually being depleted quite a bit. Let's put a second person on here so that they can start bringing in some of the loose stuff lying around the neighborhood. Yeah, you're a good choice. You're fine. I don't know that I ever reset the priority on that other woodcutter. Let's do that real quick. Thatch. I told her all you're doing is thatch. Okay, we can fix that now that we have thatch coming out of our ears. Let's go for long sticks and logs. Go low on everything. High on the long sticks. What we need to be able to do, I'm hoping that they give us this, is not only set our priorities here, but also move these up and down through the list, because resin came first. I had resin on high and I had long sticks on high, and they were just ignoring this and clear cutting the entire world to get resin. Rather unfortunate. We ended up with a whole big clear cut section of the coast here that I'm going to have to replant because I just don't like the way it looks. Well, meanwhile, we've got hardwood just lying around. We're 2 years deep now on the forest, or 2.5 years. So the forester is, all of the hardwood that we planted is now starting to be harvested. And I think 3 foresters is probably a better number than 2. But 2 looks like it's doing a pretty good job. Wow, that's a lot of stone sitting here. That's weird. Okay, so all of this is supposed to be hardwood. Huh. Birch, 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 birch. Oh, you got reset. Or I never set you correctly or something. Unfortunate. Well, there we go. I guess it's a race between the two foresters to see who planted the most. It looks like the other looks like the softwood guy was doing a better job. I don't know. That was an unfortunate mistake 2 years ago. Ouch. Because this should all be hardwood right now. You know, I read somewhere that England planted huge amounts of oak forests for ships because, you know, the English Navy knew that it would need oak for ships, except by the time all that oak had matured, oak was no longer used on ships. Alright, well, so this area is set to be cut. No, yes. No, let's go ahead and put one right here. Need a stick out of that. And then another one right about there. What's with all those stones there? That's weird. Uh-oh. There we go. Now that we have the builders building and designated light keepers, let's go ahead and set this up. I love you guys are chasing me around, taking the stuff off my cart. I appreciate that y'all are saving me from hauling this back myself. Thank you. It's very nice. We need a recycling building so that we can smelt down like the bronze battle axe and things like that. Also so that we can reclaim materials from the pelt, from the linen capes, and things that we don't need anymore. Well, you know what? This is a beautiful spot to place the outpost. We've got great land all around. We can just go ahead and set up new forestry markers. Make sure, make sure that we're planting hardwood this time. And this could be a nice spot. It's an easy run back. It's a good road. It's a road that they actually use rather than running off to one side. So let's take a look at what it's going to take. I'm going to have to bring back here a... pretty simple stuff, actually. Yeah, why not? Because we don't need it anyway, so wherever we put it, it's just to try it out. And we've got materials right here. Alright, well, my first try with an outpost, so I am surely going to get it wrong. Got some decent water nearby. There's one, too. That's starting to look green. Guessing that the arrow is the front door. Kind of like back here a little bit more, but don't want to interfere with the well. Well, you know, let's bring the ground up. That way we can bury this well anyways, which would be my preference, and we can bury that rock. So let's just terraform this up real quick. This will be a beautiful spot. Should be able to get that well almost completely buried. Not buried enough to build something on top of it, but at least enough that it's not sticking up in the way. It's nice being able to bury a well and build right on top of it. Got a warehouse placed right on top of a well. You could have a water storage there, and literally the guy could just stand there and fill up the water storage from the well right underneath it. Actually, as with most buildings, I think the defining height grade point is probably where that arrow is as well, so we probably terraformed enough. Because we'll just go ahead and put that arrow up here at the front like it's going to be. So that's due north. Let's turn this like so, because why not? A little nod to the OCD. Those little rocks right there. Really? Getting a little bit peckish. Gonna have to head back here in a minute. Let's see if we can get this done first. I wonder what building I build a tractor at. Give me land, lots of land under starry skies above. Come flatten this. I am very hungry, I know. I hear you. Y'all got this? I know you do. Alright. Y'all work on that. I'm gonna see where I left my cart. There it is. Grab that, go back and get a little bit of something to eat. the pie, one of the new items that you can cook at the cookhouse, has amazing spoil timer. You can carry this stuff around in your pocket. Oh, it only stacks to 3 in your pocket, though. All right. But it lasts days and days and days. Seems to be pretty generous. I'd imagine that our veg warehouse is actually probably getting close to capacity at this point. Yeah, we're going to start having veg laying around on the ground. Well, that's good. We need the fertilizer, since they won't let us make bone meal yet. Cool. Just stuff lying around in random spots. That's ASKA for you. Oh, let's fix this as long as I'm here. I'll let him finish that first one. What are we waiting on? Beams and planks. I love that we can tell the firekeepers to start using fuel in different orders, because we've finally managed to sort of tame the bark mountain that appears here at the carpenter. That's been worthwhile. Dude. You have literally one job, which is to fill up that trough with meat. When are you guys gonna fix dogs? Seriously. One job, dude. And that's it. You're going to go chop a fish and go run and put that one piece of fish meat back in the dog pen. And then you're going to go sit down. And there's any question why dogs are broken. And that dog's going to eat that. Nope, not quite yet. No, yeah, he's not gonna go up and go get a second one. Wow, just wow. I mean, there's even meat sitting right here that he could just pick up. I hate you, dude. I'm just gonna give up on dogs. They still don't have them fixed. Just ask John Wick. Don't screw around with the dogs. Okay, how does it work? There's a difference between working at an outpost and living in an outpost. Villagers can work at the outpost, live in an outpost, or both. Assigning villagers to an outpost makes them work at the outpost's warehouse specifically. Outpost workers aren't automatically made outpost inhabitants. Assign them to a house belonging to it. A and B are two distinct outposts. Salamar lives and works in A. Actually, what did I call this? West Hill, that's it. see who doesn't have awesome health and combat abilities. You are a general farmer, so you're not going to be it. Ursula. No. That's the one I just looked at. Silly. Thora, battle-scarred veteran. Sven. Sven it is. All right, Sven. And I gather that this can replace the transfer point here, so let's start with some long sticks, short stick storage. So that leaves one, two, three, four, 5 spaces. All right. 3, 2. It's not bad. It's going to be what it is. What else are we collecting here? Resin for sure. And a small crafting mats. Resin's your 3. That's just a momentary blink of green there. Let's not try and break it. All right. So now at this, we have a 3, 2. All right. What is down the hill? What are you guys doing? Yeah, go ahead. Somebody's linen shirt here. Okay. It's all right. Y'all were having a little thing under the tree, and one of you left your shirt behind. I'm not sure what happened there, but it's solved now. Early access. That's what happened there. Boy, this is a pixel hunting nightmare. Oh, it's a hardwood long stick that I picked up. Zoink. The only one in there, of course. I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, this is all kinds of pixel hunting in here. That's why we just let them build it. Because Mo better. So looking forward to the day when woodcutters can chop stumps. Seems like a good time to head home. I feel like the bronze axe should be able to be used as a woodcutting axe. At least make it worth picking up. Oh, you know, we've got this trap over here that I decommissioned a while ago. We should set that back up. Looks like it's kind of sunken. There we go. Well, now that's an interesting... That is an interesting mechanic right there. Huh. So either the RNG gifted me with a Wolfar pup at that exact moment, which seems unlikely, or when you put a trap down and you deploy it, then it just starts, you know, deciding randomly when to give you a pup. But if you don't deploy it, or if you undeploy it, it's still running the RNG, and so eventually it says, oh, you get a pup, except that the trap isn't deployed, so you don't. But the moment you deploy it, you immediately get the pup that you got days or weeks before. That would be the way to not have to pay attention to whether or not there's a pup, because you just put traps down, deploy them, undeploy them, and then go back a week or two later and deploy them and pick your pup up. This is the well that we buried underneath the warehouse, which, as you can see, gets regular use since it's got no water left in it. Here's another well buried over here with only 8. Got 2 wells buried down here. I usually put a little bit of road maker on top of it so you can see them. 19 and 19, really? 19 and 19. I'll go figure. All right. Well, they're definitely load balancing those two. I wish that we could build road through the gate. Yep, you're just not going to give me the option on that, are you? Alright, we'll wait for the computer to do it. Guessing that the Odin's Eye is what's giving this village its name. So let's go over here and check. My design for the longhouses is pretty much always a U like this, and then I tuck a wooden altar into the inside of the U, and even better, so you can tuck that in, and then you can also tuck in a tree, or in the case over here, you can see a large garden. those are ghosts. There you go. Alright, those builders are done putting those big walls on the front, so I suspect that we're going to see some activity out here pretty soon. Looked like those were coming together. As soon as we can get this transfer station migrated over into the outpost, we'll demo that. Put another housing unit or two here, and let's go ahead and start setting up forestry markers. I really hope that they eventually give us the ability to just manage markers from the map, rather than forcing us to run around and plant them by hand. this will come around and tie in with this road as well. So yeah, this is it. This is a spot to build. Just make this whole valley right here. Guy's blowing his horn for wisps, I swear. Don't want to chop down the willow trees. One rope left. Well, I see one more marker in our future. Alright, that's a pretty good start on the forestry around this zone. That's going to be a lot of hardwood a couple years from now. Prop up one more forester down here. Less people out here working on this than I would have expected. Oh, where are you going? What are you doing, Ace? What are you doing? Logs, 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 sticks. Right. And cabbage. Let's go check on the builders. What are the builders doing? You're all just hanging out at the street fair or what? So builders do not apparently cross borders. Oh, I forgot. You can actually do that straight from the storage. I made that harder than it needed to be. Work outside the outpost. That's the thing right there. So I'll bet you that when we go to Roanoke, to the builder's house... Well, but everybody's set to work outside the outpost, so presumably they'd have come over here. Except if it has become a new outpost, maybe work outside the outpost does not include work in other outposts. It just means work in, I don't know what we'd call it, unincorporated areas. So why can I assign no people to this lumber? Do they have to live in this outpost to work in this lumber? The thing earlier seemed to indicate otherwise, so... Oh. Huh. Well, yeah. Choosing neither of them. Alright, there we go. Stig should really be a cart driver, shouldn't he? Arvid looks like he's ready to graduate from there. We've got food will be coming in a few minutes. We'll be able to set up a market move for that. We've got sticks and log storage coming online, so let's go ahead and check to make sure we have nobody working here, which we don't. Oh, no, that was right here. Cottage is coming up. I think they've got no shortage of bark around here to come pick up, so I think they'll have that. Perfect. Stone storage, yeah. It's gonna leave me a 1, but there's just nothing to be done about that. Alright, we've got food storage, so next would be to set up a market mover to bring food back here from town, and we have food and water, and then we can move people in. Let's get a couple extra beds built in here. No, you're not going to give me that one? Alright, we'll just put it right here in the middle of the floor. And what we will do is cancel that one and this one. Put them down one space. Like that, so that we can put a room separator in here just for the added housing points. There we go. Alright, well, the outpost is starting to come together. We'll get some food moving down here tomorrow, and move some folks in on the next session, I should say. So I'm going to run back, grab something to eat, something to drink, and we're going to call it a day, as it were. Take a look at the builds down here. So they're not actually done with those wall upgrades. I'm wondering if that's because we are running out of carpentry materials. We just don't have hardwood long sticks coming in like I'd like. Then we don't have any stock, and so thinking they probably burned through what we had and that was it. No, carpenter materials look good. Bark Mountain is piling up. Metal parts are lying around on the ground. Somebody's head's gonna roll for that one. Alright, well, good materials on hand. Let's get something to drink, something to eat, and I know what my job is tomorrow. Get those food moving back to the outpost and then move a couple people in, bring some thatch up there probably. Probably time to bring one more kitchen online. We've got 4 right now, 3 right now. Both of which are running 2 shifts. Yes. Alright, well. That's going to do it for this time. I appreciate you coming hanging out with me, Rev. Anybody else that came along for the ride? See you next time. This is Ace. I'll see you then.